So I gotta make a quick batch of worm tea. Why don't you come on? Let's make it. Alright. So like I said, I gotta make a quick batch of worm tea. Kind of in a rush this evening, so I wanted to make this video right quick. So, for starters, we got my air pump with my air stones, some molasses, castings out my worm bin and not from the store. That stuff is created differently. So you got some water, straight rain water. So let's get to making. So as I make it, I'm gonna talk to you about a few reasons why you're probably gonna need this. More oxygen the better. So if you don't have one of these air pumps, I suggest getting one. This is a small one. If you can afford it, get a big one. More bubbles, more oxygen, the better. Trust me on that. Molasses. A lot of videos, some people say you need it, some people say you don't. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Keep it simple. It shouldn't be hard. It's all Mother Nature, right? So, that being said, got my mesh bag here. I'm just gonna simply dump the castings in the bag. Just like so. Right? And again, I don't make this stuff difficult at all. I wrap it up a little bit. I don't even use proper measurements probably. Some people say like 1 pound of castings per 5-gallon bucket. Pretty sure this is not a pound of castings, but with what I feed them, it should be strong enough. So you can use other ingredients like azomite dust, rock dust, I think it's called, kelp meal, kelp extract, whatever works for you. I did find that if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get that fruit bag of fertilizer, I can't think of the name of it. It's some kind of organic fertilizer in a bag. It's got a bunch of colors on it, fruits and vegetables and stuff. It says on the bag that it's good for making tea. Trust me on this. If you don't want to smell absolute terrible funk coming off of what you're gonna create, do not do it. It was terrible. So back to the task at hand. I'm just gonna wrap this around the handle so it stays off the bottom. You don't want nothing to kind of start creating something that's not gonna be good. And next we're gonna apply a little bit of this. Again, not big on doses, so I just add a little bit. Call that good. Next, we're gonna plug this in. Drop those right in there, just like so. See if I can get this to plug in. Get myself out the way. Now we got bubbles in the water. Is this what you need? I'm gonna try to space these out a little bit. Now I let it sit till this time tomorrow. Water the plants and we're good to go. So I'll try to add some links to all the products in case you need them. So the air pump, the air stones, the hoses, everything I use there came from Amazon. Mesh bag came from Amazon. Worm castings came from me and my worm, so that's a plus. Molasses, you can get Walmart, Dollar General, whatever the case. So I almost forgot to add something. When it comes to sifting worms and castings, it's perfect to do. But I found something the last 2 times I made castings that kind of blew my mind. Let me elaborate. So I made some castings maybe 3 weeks ago, and most people sift the worms, the eggs out of the castings before they use them for tea or whatever the case may be. So I had an experience where I didn't necessarily sift my castings all the way through, meaning it was still some babies and eggs and maybe a few decent sized worms in the castings. So where I found out was when I dumped the bag, because I always take the bag once the tea's made and just apply it directly to the garden. Well, when I took the castings out of the bag and I kind of uncrumbled everything, if that's a word, I don't know. I'm from Alabama. Just overlook that, right? Anyways, I took the castings, broke them down to spread around my tomato plants. And what I found was fascinating to me. Now, maybe you've seen it, but it was fascinating to me, so let me have that. The worms were still very much alive, moving, and went right into the soil. So, with that being said, I think it's a good practice to maybe not sift things all the way, because you can add eggs and worms directly into your bed unknowingly or knowingly, and it just helps everything. So look at it like this. I got 2 worm bins, one for red wigglers, one for European night crawlers. The European night crawlers serve the same purpose as my red wigglers, except I use them for fishing, because if you know anything about fishing, it's hard to get those little red wigglers on a hook. If you do it, kudos to you. I don't have time. Rather have a big worm, throw it on the hook, throw it out there, catch my bait, catch the big fish. That's how it works for me. But as a good practice, just try it out, see what happens, because you'll end up having more worms than you thought you were supposed to have, because it'll be worms in your garden bed already. Then you don't have to buy worms because you've been populating using your worm teas and your castings. And so sifting's good if you must, but if you just rather get to the actual doing of the garden, if you're not selling worms, of course, or selling castings or tea, if you're just gardening with castings, sole purpose is fertilizing and all the good stuff that comes with it, just add the stuff to the compost tea. Give it 24 hours, use it, add the leftover castings to the garden bed, you'll do A-okay. So if any of that was helpful to you, give me a like, follow, and comment. Let me know what you think. Or if you think I could do something better, let me know too. I'm always down for constructive criticism. Works for us all.